Hello, welcome to Cinephile Entertainment. I'm a Cinephile critic and today I'll be reviewing this movie. Sorry, I couldn't remember if you were in 3A or 3B. The Spy Who Dumped Me. So The Spy Who Dumped Me is directed by Susanna Fogel and stars Mina Kunis as Audrey, Kate McKinnon as Morgan, Sam Heughan as Sebastian, Justin Thoreau as Drew. Spy Who Dumped Me is a quick synopsis about what it is. We follow Mia's character, Audrey, and Kate, her best friend Morgan. What happens is Audrey's been dating someone for the past year, but she doesn't know that he's a spy. But his life becomes too treacherous, and so what happens is, even though something happens to him, it's sort of reflecting on her life and impacting her life in a negative way, because he has something that other people want, and so they are coming after her to get it. And in order to figure out what's going on, who they can trust, where to go, and basically put an end to all of this, she has to make a trip to Europe, find out what's going on, keep what they have away from the bad guys, and be the heroes of the day. So that's what The Spy Who Dumped Me is kind of about. One thing I will say about this film is, if you watch the trailers of this film, you feel that this film, you've kind of seen it before. It's very reminiscent of, a lot of film in this type of category, which is a comedy action film. And I will say that in order for this film to stand out, they had to do a few things differently. And I really felt that, the crew members, everyone that was involved, from the producers to the directors to the screenplay writers and the actors, I think that they were all on one page in how can this film stand out? How can this film not be just another one of those comedy action films? It looked at the formula of what a comedy action film is and spun it and recreated a different formula to make this film stand out among the pack, and it worked. So what happens is, as soon as the open scene starts, you're not introduced to the ladies. You don't see the ladies at all. What you see is Drew, and he's in some type of marketplace. It looks like some Eastern European marketplace, and the color is very desaturated. It's very cool colors, and it's very the way how the camera movement is tracking his movements. It's medium shots, close-ups, claustrophobic. It's to make you feel that there's someone's watching you. And about a minute after that, what you get is bam, action. And that type of action that you get in this film, I was surprised, but I was here for it. I was like, oh, that's what we're doing. Yes, please. This action, goes on for a few minutes. A few minutes after that, that's when the girls are introduced on the screen, which is Morgan and Audrey. That's kind of how, this film introduces the character. And I think in this particular situation, it worked well because it grabs your attention from the first moment, literally from the opening scene. You are pulled into this film. So the overarching theme in this film is really about Audrey and Morgan's friendship. And, the whole plot about, going to Europe, finding what's going on, and, the whole spy thing. It's more of a way of them going on a journey, and the audience are seeing what good friends these girls are and how they are there for each other through thick and thin. And that's kind of what the story is. So even though the spy plot does sometimes takes the foreground, it is really about their friendship. It's a really good friendship because they both accept each other for who they are. I do say they try to make Audrey more awkward than what she really is, but Morgan does an amazing job. Morgan character killed it. She is probably the best performer in this film, because her weirdness is not so weird that you don't see the charmingness in it. What makes her quirkiness palatable and an asset to the film is that it's not over the top. It is over the top to some extent. Her families are like this. That's why she's like this. And so it kind of works. And it's only reduced to her family, you know, and her being like that. And because her family is, you know, used very sparingly in this film, you know, the awkwardness works. She knows when to bring it in and she knows when to bring it out. And that is a good actor, because in that she understands balance, and balance is, you know, in films is so important. So when it comes to Sebastian and Drew's character, I thought that they were way too cliche. I liked Drew in the first act. I didn't like Drew in the third act. I thought that that storyline could have been written 1000% better, especially when you see all the other efforts that has gone in with the editing, you know, the acting between those two girls, the writing. It could have been done better. Sebastian, he's there just really for eye candy. I mean, he does a good job to some extent, but you know, he's very like smoldering. It's like chiseled jaw, you know, just blue eyes, just like blonde hair, just he just those stares in the camera. So I just thought it was just too much most of the time, and it was just, yeah, it wasn't really needed. Editing, especially in the first and second act, really complemented the film's writing, the story. It was like the editing in this film, in the first and second act, were really good. I wasn't expecting the edits to be that good and so precise as, you know, they were in this film. So I must say that good job on the detail to the cast and crew who were a part of it, because it really did work. I really didn't think this film will have something like that, but it did, and I was like, thank you for your details. Thank you for putting in that effort in making this film a better film. The cinematography is, it's okay. The cinematography in this film, you know, is okay. I like the way the stylization of it in the first act, and they didn't really keep it through for the rest of the movie, but you know, it's fine. But what this film really has going for it is how it started its film. There's a lot of really good action in this film. It's bloody good action as well. So I wasn't expecting this film to have the caliber of action that it has in its film. I wasn't expecting it to have the type of editing it had in its film, especially in the first and the second act. I wasn't expecting the film to start the way how it started, which was, you know, just a treat for me. So this film took a formula that, you know, it's tried and tested and most time doesn't really live up to expectation, and they twisted it and made it into a formula that suits them for this movie, and for that it worked. The pacing in the first act is fine. When it comes to the second act and the third act, it does drag. I think this film is longer than what it needs to be. I think if they had cut out about 20 minutes of the film, this film would have been perfect. I did love the ingenious ideas and ways that these girls come up with in staying alive and, you know, being dragged into the spy world. I thought that was really interesting. I must say that the crew were all on one page, from the producers to the directors to the post-production crew. Like, everybody was all on one page in how they wanted this film to basically be, and I thought that it is a lot better than I was expecting. I am going to give this film for I for Intrigue, and I think this film is far more entertaining than just E for entertainment. I think there's a little bit more intrigue in this film, and it's lovely to see those two characters come together and show what they have. What do you guys thought about it? Have you seen it? I would love to know what your reaction was to this film. And I will say that this film is probably going to be more targeted to the women, but I do feel that if guys do go to the cinema to see this, I think they will secretly enjoy themselves a lot more than what they will let on. Thank you for watching this review, and if you liked what you saw, please subscribe. You're thinking, darling, I'll come back and see what else you got. Then hopefully I'll see you soon. And remember, until next time, keep safe. Bye.